My name is Tristan Hightower.
Tristan Hightower, nice to meet you. My name is Angelina. We've discussed consents at this point, and we've discussed confidentiality at this point. So why don't you go ahead and tell me what brings you in today?
There's kind of just a lot going on, and my parents are kind of at their wits' end with me, so they told me I had to come. I'm 25. After college, I dropped out my senior year, and now I kind of live at home, and I work in the Amazon warehouse, and I just motivation problems, sad all the time. They say that I drink too much. I don't think I drink too much. I mean, it's just kind of how I sleep, but I guess they have problems with those things, so that's why I'm here.
And they as your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you said motivation problems. Is that something that you've decided, or is that what they're saying?
They've made comments, and I think they were right, although I don't really want to tell them that. But yeah, it's just very few things that may actually get enjoyment from.
Did you get enjoyment from things before that you aren't now?
No, honestly, I've never really had too many hobbies. I guess. No, I just really like video games. I used to enjoy them more. I used to have more friends, but not really now. But yeah, I just most days it's hard to get up out of bed.
Okay, so I've heard you have a job. For now, you're maintaining that job, right?
Yeah.
But to get to sleep, you're drinking more than maybe your parents were happy about.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not engaging in hobbies or enjoying things that that maybe your friends might have considered more normal.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay. All right. So you said it was your parents' idea for you to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you are looking forward to being here?
I definitely want to feel better. Maybe understand why it's so hard for me to hold down a job. I left school because I realized that 3 years of college, I did not enjoy what I was doing, and I was scared of trying to do something I didn't enjoy doing for the rest of my life, and so I quit. And now I don't seem to know what to do.
What were you doing in college before?
Psychology.
Psychology,
yeah.
And it wasn't for you?
No, I just I get so overwhelmed sometimes when I'm talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting, but then once I actually had to give presentations and get criticized on papers and stuff, I couldn't take it, so I quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since then, you said you've held multiple jobs that you've had trouble with?
Yeah, just bouncing around, sleeping through my alarm too much, just not feeling like going, so it's easier to just stay home and not let them know and find a new job than it is to be embarrassed because of being late and missing work.
That sounds frustrating.
Yeah.
For you especially.
I mean, I tell them it's just some days it's just my body doesn't want to get up, but they don't want to hear that. They just want me to go make the money.
Do you feel that they care about you beyond that?
No. Just a means. That's all.
That sounds really difficult.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad I have my dog though. She helps.
What's her name?
Odessa.
Odessa. Oh, that's unique.
Yeah, they named her that at the pound, and she already responded to it, so it didn't change.
Alright, you inherited a good name for her.
I think so.
So these feelings you have about your parents, is that kind of the relationship you've always had with them?
Oh, kinda, yeah. My dad's kind of the hard-ass type. My mom works so much, she's never really... I'll see her at night sometimes, but for the most part, it's just me and my dad, and my dad doesn't like to be bothered most of the time. So like, since I moved back, I live in the basement, which has like, it's basically an apartment. It's like bathroom, kitchen, everything I need. So unless I'm going up there to grab something or just feel like trying to talk to them, which I don't really do much anymore, but I don't really see them all that much, so I'm kind of just down there.
Can you tell me about some of the jobs you've had since you work at Amazon now? How long have you been there?
6 months. The majority of the jobs that I've done since dropping out of college, they like warehouse stuff, forklift driving, that kind of thing. I've never had any accidents at work. I never go to work drunk. But when I get home, I usually drink, which I think is okay. Started talking about like, would you do it every night? It's like, yeah, but I'm not drinking so much that I can't function the next day, or I'm not being irresponsible. I enjoy hanging out in my room and drinking.
So you're drinking in the afternoons. Your timeline, let's say, in a day. Go to work, you come home.
I get home from work usually around like 5, and then usually by maybe 6, I open a beer, or depending on what mood I'm in, I'll have like some whiskey or something. Never take shots. It's always like sipping, just casual, progressively over the night. And then either play video games, watch a TV show or movie. I like to take my dog on walks around the neighborhood. I usually do that before it gets dark. Yeah. For the past 2 years, that's pretty much been my life. I used to have friends in my hometown, but now most of them have started careers of their own and moved on. I'm kind of just stuck here.
Why do you feel stuck here?
It seems like everybody knows what they want to do. Something that gets them out of bed in the morning, but I just don't seem to have a thing like that.
Okay.
I enjoy life. Like, I like doing things, but it's not enough sometimes.
What would you want beyond that?
I'd like to move out. I want to move out. Family, kids. Career-wise, I mean, I guess I technically could just work hard and then try to be a manager.
That's technically, but if we're talking about what you want to do, sounds like you've got a lot of possibilities that you can think of.
No, to be honest, it's hard for me to think about what I want. You think that I do it more, but I don't. Usually when I think about stuff like this, it's just easier to just enjoy myself and forget about it. But I guess I like reading too, so maybe like trying to write a book. I don't know how great my writing skills are, but I could do that.
You said thinking about things like this is not as easy as just enjoying the moment you're in. Is that typically your how you approach thinking ahead to the future?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I feel like in high school, when there wasn't so much pressure on me to be independent, I had more desires. I wanted to be a counselor. Played sports, cared about sports a lot. I do exercise a lot still. It's something I'm passionate about.
Now, I heard you say that you want to move into a place of your own and have your own life, your own family. It sounds like those things are wanting independence. You also said that there's a lot of pressure on you to be independent. So I'm curious about those two ways of talking about independence you've already mentioned.
I mean, to be honest, when I dropped out of college, I didn't want to be up on my own again. I wanted to be at home. I guess it was comforting to know that, like, if anything did go wrong, if I needed anything, they were right there. Even though they're upstairs, knowing that they're close by makes me feel less alone. So I guess I'm scared of going independent because what if I don't make friends? What if something happens and I have to figure it out myself? But it's definitely a want. It's just a matter of putting things in place to do it.
Fishing a lot with your shoes. Yeah, alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, first time doing something like this, so I am nervous.
What makes you nervous about it?
Talking to a stranger about how pitiful I am.
Why do you think you're pitiful?
25, stay at home, probably drink too much. I haven't talked to girls in like a year almost. That's when me and Brooke broke up.
Tell me about your relationship with Brooke. How long were you guys together?
2.5 years. She ended up getting a job offer states away and didn't want to do long distance, and she kind of said that we grew apart as it was, so she seems to be moving on to bigger and better things.
How did you cope with that?
I guess just kept doing the stuff I usually do. Drank a little more. I think that's when my obsession with video games started, now that I think about it.
Was this while you were still in school?
Yeah, near the end.
In the end?
Yeah.
So while you're in school and things are getting to that point where you're getting feedback and criticism and I guess the more challenging parts of it, you broke up with Brooke and, correct me if I'm wrong, you started drinking a little more and you engaged more in video games.
That sounds right.
Sounds right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Doesn't paint a pretty picture.
Well, how did you feel living it? It's a different thing than the picture.
It definitely got easier as time passed. But it just turned into a routine more than anything. I definitely used to go out way more. At least try to meet people.
Did you have friends supporting you through that time?
Some acquaintances. Jacob, my childhood best friend, he left about a year ago. He a very successful businessman now. He travels so much I barely ever see him. The occasional phone call, but yeah, he's kind of a math whiz, knows how to do stocks and all that stuff.
Sounds like a character.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You keep in touch with him still?
Yeah, I try to. But like I said, he's busy. And my brother is pretty much the same thing. He lives like an hour and a half away, works a 9 to 5. Used to be fairly close to him, but ever since he left, I don't talk to him much. He's never been good about answering the phone or responding.
Is he your older brother or younger brother?
was younger, always parents' favorite. Better at school, better at sports. Really funny, sweet person. Weirdly humble.
What do you mean weirdly humble?
Well, I just see him getting so much praise all the time, and he never seems to brag.
So you'd expect him to. It sounds like you felt you were compared to him frequently growing up.
Yeah.
Is that something you were told also?
Indirectly, yeah. Kind of hard to not see it. I mean, I get it. He's the one that has a successful career and got out of the house pretty quickly.
I wonder what you're thinking now.
I'm just thinking about stuff that's happened in the past.
Care to share?
It's like that. My brother and I used to hate each other, but I feel like kids fight and we would argue, but there was always a more firm hand when I did something than when he did something. My parents used to frustrate me.
That sounds frustrating. You have an example of one of those times?
Use this one because it's real. So for one Christmas, we got those little RCXD cars, and I didn't play with it for a little while, and my brother thought it would be okay to take it apart and break it, like piece by piece, just take it apart. And so I went to play with it, and I was upset. I was like 6, and so I got to my mom. I'm crying, telling her like he took apart my toy, and then she just got mad at me for being upset, and she just basically said, "You never use it, so let him play with it." And that was the end of it.
Yikes.
I love that toy.
Yeah. You ever talk to your brother about that? Not your older?
Yeah, we've laughed about it. We've laughed about it now, but it's kind of a theme.
It sounds like he got his way more frequently as well.
That's what I'm saying. What else do I need to tell you?
Well, if it helps while you're thinking. I'm curious to know more about, you said that your parents are, I believe you said, fed up? Was there an incident that kind of led to that statement?
Not really. Just sometimes the fact that I'm staying there rent-free comes up, and they make sure I hear about it.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, they're right. I mean, I'm very lucky, but it's obviously a burden on them because, I mean, their 25-year-old son's still at the house. But at the same time, it's nice to save money. Although it's also difficult to save money because there's always a new game coming out, and I beat them pretty quick, so it's $60 per game, and plus the drinking. It's an expensive 2 hobbies.
Would it be fair to say you want to save more money?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely need to do something so that I can eventually move out.
Yeah, there's one goal.
Yeah, it's a good way of thinking about it.
What else would you need to do to move out on your own?
Keep this job as long as possible. mean, I feel like I'm definitely capable of doing something that would earn more money, but I kind of like how simple and straightforward these jobs are. It tells you what to do, tells you how many you have to do in a certain amount of time, gives me something to focus on, and just get me through the day. But also probably make more friends,
At this job or at a different job?
just in general.
Yeah. I hear you. So what kinds of things would well, I mean, it sounds like you still have some that you keep in touch with here and there.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
But I mean, it's been over a month since I even went out to a social event, and that was because of a friend's birthday party.
How was it?
It was fun. It was a lot of loud music and a lot of dancing, and I don't really listen to music or dance, so I kind of just stood around for a lot of it. People watched. It was fun though.
Sounds like you play your games too. I know that sometimes that's an opportunity to reach out to people. You
Yeah.
ever play games with your friends?
Sometimes they have time. They have games, but it's really only on the weekends, and I work weekends, so. But yeah, there's definitely a few things that I can do.
That sounds like a great place to start. Sounds like a great place for day one.
Yeah. It's an optimistic way to put it.
Do you feel you think optimistically sometimes?
I think I'm more realistic. I've always felt like I'm a pretty truthful person. Like I don't want to admit some of these things to my parents, but I know I'm a person. I know that I need to do better, hold down a job, drink less. It's just a lot easier said than done.
Sure.
What would I do with all my time? I'm so used to drinking to relax. Or I could just start buying cheaper stuff.
It is an option. But how would you feel about making that choice?
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a YouTube video, and they're just talking about it taking it one day at a time. So I think it would be hard for a while, but then it'd get easier. I just have to get through it.
Sounds like drinking is a burden in your life right now.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
Don't mind me asking about how much do you drink in a day?
I guess it depends on how early I go to sleep. But 6-pack easy.
What sort of things are you feeling or thinking about while you're drinking?
I'm honestly pretty hard on myself. It's like I always like tell myself like there's so many things I could be doing with my time, but it's like I tried to do things. Like I tried to learn how to draw, learn new skills, like playing the guitar. It's like I'll get obsessive about it for a day or two, and then it's like all the desire to do it is gone. And then I just find myself in a situation where it's like, do I want to struggle and try to force myself to do these things that don't have to be done, but do it just, be learning something new, or do I want to just do something I know is going to make me feel good and I'm going to have fun doing? So that's what I usually do.
When it comes to learning new skills or new hobbies, do you feel a lot of discomfort with not knowing or not being an expert in doing something?
Yeah. I mean, being horrible at something doesn't feel good. it's just it takes so much time to be good at things. I always like talk myself out of it.
Have you always felt that way, you think?
Not in high school, just more, really, I guess, reaches back the last 2 years since I moved home.
So tell me about your decision to move home then.
It just seemed like, I guess I didn't have any other option. I mean, they almost didn't even let me stay there. They were so upset with me for quitting that late. But it was nice for a while, but now it's just, like I said, it's like I'm living on my own, but they're right upstairs. It's like, it's hard to argue that living rent-free back at home isn't good in many ways, but I'm definitely tired of being here.
When you were still in school, were you living on campus, or were you living in your own place?
In the dorms.
In the dorms?
Yeah. Always people around doing stuff. A lot of the guys play video games at night too.
Sounds like you had more of a community.
Yeah. Something I can't have at home. I definitely miss that. I just wish I would have finished out that degree or figured out how to overcome my fear of talking to people.
That sounds isolating.
Yeah, but I have Odessa.
Sounds like Odessa can help you make some friends too.
True. I could take us to the dog parks.
Have you considered going back to school?
I've thought about it. I know a lot about computers, and I've watched quite a lot of videos on like coding and stuff. I'm kind of good at it. It's just it takes a long time. It's a lot of typing. So I could go back to school for that, I guess. That is something I think I'm good at. But I don't know if my parents would pay or not.
Well,
There is a local community college too.
True. It could be a financial option. It sounds like you're choosing something based on what you're good at, though. Is that something that you would want to do?
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of something that, like, working on computers, coding, and understanding that language. I guess now that I think about it, that is a hobby that I keep up with better than others. I don't do it every day or all the time or anything, but it's fun to create, even though it's like a screen.
I'm not super familiar with coding. What kinds of things are you able to create with it? On games like Minecraft, you can like create your own world and like design it. That's
like,
cool.
Through typing, not just building and stuff, like creating your own servers and different kind of shortcuts and stuff. I honestly don't know.
It's okay to be a beginner.
But yeah. I guess I've thought about it before, but I didn't take it seriously, but I could see myself doing that.
That's something.
I'm on the computer a lot anyways, so I might as well mix in learning how to do that stuff.
So if there's one thing that you really feel like you need help with, what would that thing be?
I guess, trying to put a stop to some of these bad habits and get out of the house. I want to get an apartment of my own. Need to spend less money on these other things. Cut back on my drinking some. I spend a lot of time dealing with like recurrent negative thoughts. So, as I basically drink to get rid of those now. So I'll have to figure out a way to address them without drinking, which is going to be annoying.
Annoying. That's not an untrue way to put it.
Am I allowed to go get some water?
I mean, it's cutting into your time, not mine. So.
I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
By the way, that was a great response. Cutting into your time, not mine.
Welcome back. I want to circle back. I know you mentioned that you haven't sat down and talked with someone like this before, but have you gone to maybe school counseling or anything like that?
I did once, just when the whole Brooke thing went down, and I kept seeing flyers of like free counseling sessions, but I don't know, I didn't really have much to say. I feel like I was kind of shut down. She kept asking questions and I just didn't want to give the answers. I don't know if I was not ready to face my shortcomings that led to the breakup, or the fact that she was creating a successful life and I was a college student still, but yeah, and that was like about 2 years ago, and then never went back until now.
All right. How about any hospitalizations or anything of that nature? And it's that time of afternoon.
No. I've been in a couple car wrecks. I got a concussion. My back was sore for a while, but nothing crazy. Had my appendix removed. But that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. You mentioned shortcomings leading to your breakup with Brooke. I know earlier you mentioned that she stated you'd grown apart.
Mm-hmm.
So what shortcomings do you feel you were bringing to that?
She always wanted to talk, and I didn't really want to talk. I just wanted to kind of do my own thing. Yeah. So she broke up with me, but maybe I lost feelings for her some, and I kind of withdrew, and then she had enough. I was angry with her for a long time, but not anymore. I do miss her though. She doesn't respond to any of my texts, so she probably has another boyfriend or something.
And she moved far away.
Yeah. Moved to Kansas.
It's a different time zone, huh?
Mm-hmm. I've been out there before. It's a weird place to live. It's really flat.
Really?
A lot of corn.
Oh.
A lot of corn.
Would you see yourself, I know, in being independent, getting your own place, would you leave this area?
I guess I would like to be within a couple hour drive of my family, but I think it would be good to relocate. Like no one would know who I am, so I could kind of leave my bad habits behind me. some of them at least. Yeah, maybe like up towards Tennessee. I do like the mountains.
Sounds beautiful.
Trying to live like Dr. Hall.
I'm curious also, you mentioned you have for a while now you have made negative statements toward yourself, negative thoughts about yourself. How serious have those gotten, if you don't mind me asking?
It kind of fluctuates, but there was a time period where it was just like, why even keep doing this? It's like I would have thoughts like that, but they were usually pretty short-lived because I really enjoy life. So like I would have suicidal thoughts, I guess, but I would never want to actually act them out. But it's just more like, you do so many 9 to 5s and you're drinking at night and it's just like, what? It's just this endless cycle wasn't fulfilling. So there's times where it was just like, I don't have to keep doing this. But gladly I won those fights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely been worse recently as of like the last month, but.
So this month has gotten a little more intense.
Yeah.
About how frequently are you having thoughts like that?
A couple of days a week, not really that long. They usually happen in the time period, like when I wake up before I get to work, or when I get off work before I start drinking or playing games or whatever it is that I'm doing. And I like to cook, so I spend a lot of time cooking too. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You have not yet.
Yes, that's kind of my ritual. I get back, feed the dog, cook something up. That's when I have my first drink. And then, yeah, whatever game's on or show I want to watch or.
When did you get into cooking?
Honestly, when I went to college, because I didn't have a mom cook meal or didn't cook.
Yeah.
I had ramen for a while, and then I got tired of it, so I was like, I need to start making some better stuff.
Nice.
I ate too much pasta, probably.
What's your go-to meal? What's your showstopper?
I make a mean chicken and broccoli Alfredo.
Alright. Sounds delicious.
It is. And I make hamburger helper too, but that's hardly cooking.
Okay, it's not ramen.
Yeah, true. There's so much sodium in those. They're good, but it's like, you can't eat too much.
Yeah, you feel that one later. Well, I know that you said you're not a huge fan of talking, so I do appreciate you letting me urge you to keep talking today.
Thank you for listening.
Absolutely.
It's been nice.
I'm not quite done with you yet.
Yeah, it's different when you're kind of like thinking to yourself. It's like when you actually voice it to somebody, it kind of makes the picture clearer and it makes more sense.
Yeah, have you put into big picture for yourself kind of where you are and what you want before today?
I think I'm in a pretty bad place, and I definitely know that I don't want to be here anymore. So the only way to go is up.
I'm with it.
As I'm sitting here, the more I think I want to look into that community college.
Maybe that's something next
useful.
week. You can let me know if you called him or not.
Okay.
So you said you're looking to potentially computer science and coding?
Yeah. or cybersecurity, something like that.
Interesting.
That sounds fun.
Have your parents urged you to do anything specific since living with them?
They're more just concerned that I have income. They definitely don't want me being lazy. Because when I first moved in after college, I didn't get a job for like 6 months. And part of that was just I wanted a break. And another part is they kept telling me to stop being lazy. And so I was kind of out of spite, wanting to keep being lazy.
Out of spite. When you were growing up, did you feel you were getting those sorts of messages as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Sounds like it wasn't the most encouraging environment.
They had their moments, but no, it was kind of not a very warm upbringing. No, I didn't get abused or anything, but nobody really ever talked. My dad would yell a lot. Mom wasn't around enough. But I can't blame her. My dad doesn't work. So he was in the military and he's been retired for a long time. But she has to work quite long hours to keep everything afloat.
What does she do, if you don't mind me asking?
She's a nurse.
She's a nurse, oh wow. So she spends her day providing.
Yeah, she does. She loves her job. Maybe too much.
What do you mean by that?
She's just there far more than she is at home.
And you said that was kind of a trend for a long time?
Yeah. But I mean, she kept a roof over our heads. There was never problems with food, or if you had a flat tire, that was never a problem. But yeah. She was a good mom, though. Is a good mom. She's still alive. Is a good mom.
I say. One for your brother. Do you think that he had the same experience that you had with your parents?
Probably a little different. He always had events, and I played football and baseball. I was on the team, but he actually played. Like, he was actually on the field. People were cheering him on. I feel like they bonded over that a lot more. I gave them that connection, but like I didn't have that thing.
It sounds like you were aware of a difference for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, what can you do? He's a stud. It's kind of hard to keep making up stories.
Know thyself.
I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but despite everything, my brother, once we hit like high school age, it's like me and him, he was always nice. We never really had problems. He was a good brother. It'd probably be different if I didn't have him to keep me company or help me keep my head up.
That's good. I know you mentioned that he was busier now too. Do you feel that you and he are close?
We tell each other secrets and fun stories, but I would say close, but we don't talk terribly frequently, maybe like a couple times a month. But he's bad about answering the phone, so there's that.
Does he live nearby?
Where did I say he lived? He moved to Tennessee. So we'll say he's in Tennessee.
Oh, where you were thinking of being?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It would be nice to be closer to him. Watch the games with him on the weekends. That's another thing, I don't want to work weekends anymore. But at Amazon, yeah, I have like full availability. so they like to make sure those weekend orders get out.
It sounds like it can be draining.
It has its good days and its bad days.
What would you do on your weekends instead?
Watch football. I guess if I was closer to him, I would go hang out with him more. Go to the bar. Sorry.
Next time, I'll make sure you grab a coffee before. Well, we're getting close to our time, so before you go, I just want to thank you for sharing with me. I think that over time we'll be able to tackle a lot of what you've told me about today, and also I already see, I know you mentioned you feel like you don't have a lot of motivation. I already see a lot of direction toward wanting to be better and wanting to be your version of better, or your definition of better. So I want to give you that at least, and hopefully I can watch you get closer to that.
Well, thank you. You've been wonderful.
Appreciate that.
I'll be back next week.
Oh, perfect. All right, I was gonna ask.
This is something I don't want to be late for.
Great.